Hello, family of Rotary. I am Stephanie Yurchik, Rotary International Director for Zones 33 and 34, and I am delighted to welcome you to the very first of our seminars on career strategies. This series is part of a project entitled Rotary Works, a program by Rotarians for Rotarians and Rotaractors. These are unusual circumstances and very challenging times. We know that many of our fellow Rotarians and Rotaractors have had their worlds turned upside down. The workplace has transitioned, and with it has come change. We know that the current statistics for the Mid-Atlantic area show unemployment has doubled during the pandemic. The Northeast has the highest unemployment rate in the country, and our states in the South that rely on tourism dollars have been hit extremely hard. People have lost jobs, they've been downsized, they're unemployed, and some, like our Rotaractors, are trying to break into a difficult and challenging job market. So, what do Rotarians do? We act. Rotary Works is a Zones 33 and 34 initiative that offers professional and skill development seminars, coaching, connecting, resources, a place to post and find job opportunities, and later this year, a small financial assistance grant program. Learn more by typing into your browser rotary.works. You'll be redirected to the Zones 33 and 34 website where you can learn more about this important and timely project. So let's get this show on the road. Our presenters today are PDG Claudia Myrtle, who owned her own successful business for over 30 years, and Assistant Governor Rich, the HR guy, salon. They're going to focus on helping you take a step back, identify what you want to do, and then how to create an action plan. So now please welcome Rich and Claudia.
Thank you, Director Stephanie, and welcome to today's session on vocation, evaluation, and opportunities. I want to tell you a story about a specific man's career. This gentleman was born in Wisconsin and raised in Vermont. I learned he was a bit of a prankster at his secondary school. He attended the University of Vermont, Princeton University, and earned an advanced degree from the University of Iowa. Following the completion of his college degrees, he worked odd jobs for the next 5 years. He was a traveling granite and marble salesman, a reporter for the San Francisco Chronicle newspaper, worked on fruit farms as a grape picker, as a ranch hand, as an actor, and as a cowboy, and on cattle ships that traveled to Europe. He was also a hotel night clerk in Jacksonville, Florida. This man eventually moved to Chicago, where he opened up a law practice. This man's name is Paul Harris. And after trying multiple professions, he found his career calling as a lawyer. By the way, in 1905, during his profession as a lawyer, he formed a club for commercial trade, community, and fellowship. The club was affectionately named Rotary. I know that Mr. Harris would be proud of each of you for the terrific work you continue to do today through Rotary. Our hope is that each of you find your career calling, just like Paul Harris did as a lawyer. We hope today's session will help you find your career calling, among other things. I'm going to turn it over to Claudia.
Thanks, Rich, for the story about Paul Harris. Very interesting. Many times, the norm for our Rotary clubs today is about food, fun, and fellowship, and of course, service. These sessions that you're attending today have three other norm words, and they are fundamentals, focus, and fulfillment, and of course, service. Fundamentals. Today, we're going to have some fun learning about some fundamentals. Focus, we're going to focus on and evaluate ourselves, and fulfillment, we're going to talk a little bit about how to make our job and our lives more fulfilling. This will be a broad level presentation that's not specific to any one type of career. We will be having a second in-depth session on January 27th, but we'll tell you more about that at the end of this session. It does not matter if you're out of work, in transition, you may be currently in a career but feeling exposed, or you may be a Rotaractor moving from college to professional. You may be a career changer just desiring more fulfillment, or you may be currently in a career but seeking to improve your current role. Or you may be attending this for the benefit of some others. But no matter which of those describes you, Rich and I are going to try to assist you. Number one on the objectives of 3. Number 1, how to determine where to start. Number 2, identify your passions and find your why. And number 3, how to get where you want to go. Just a reminder, as Rotary International Director said, please insert questions in the chat box for the question and answer period at the end of the session. Rich and I will try to answer as many of your questions as possible at the end. Rich, can you tell us something about capabilities and limitations?
Absolutely. Each of us were born with a very unique set of talents. These are talents that make organizations and ourselves better, and also where we draw personal fulfillment. However, there are times when we don't utilize our gifts. We want to play this short video for you about utilizing one's gifts.
I've had my ups and downs, my fair share of bumpy roads and heavy winds. That's what made me what I am today. Now I stand here before you. What you see is a body crafted to perfection, a pair of legs engineered to defy the laws of physics, and a mindset to master the most epic of splits.
Who can say where the road goes, where the day flows, only time? And who can say if your love grows as your heart shows, only time? We
If I described to you what actor Jean-Claude Van Damme did without showing you that video, you probably would not have believed me. He clearly knew his gifts and his capabilities. Otherwise, he would not have attempted that potentially dangerous maneuver. People tend to focus on their limitations prior to examining their capabilities. It's common for someone in career search to create a long list of things they feel they cannot do. This is typically followed by creating a short list, possibly 2 or 3 roles that they feel they can do. Don't allow your fears to dictate your career decisions. I've been fortunate to live in densely populated horse communities for over 25 years now. I've been to horse races just a few times in my life, and I've enjoyed watching the Kentucky Derby on television on several occasions. The race horses wear a unique attachment on their head. They're called blinders. These blinders prevent the horse from looking at the horse next to them. They only see what's directly in front of them and not on the sides of them. This is done for a good reason. It's designed to help the horse's performance. In career search, it's easy to focus on the same type of work you've always performed. Our hope is that you don't automatically revert to the same role. Use your gifts and pursue what you find fulfilling. Let's take off the blinders and keep them off. Let's take a look at this next video.
Welcome.
Hello.
Welcome to America's Got Talent. What's your name?
I'm Cody.
Hi, Cody.
I'm Cody D.
How old are you?
I am 22 years old.
Yeah.
Who are you, miss? Who are you?
I'm Mom.
Oh,
I'm
hi,
Tina
Mom.
Lee.
Hi, Tina. How are you?
So, what are you going to do here for us today?
I'm gonna sing a song for you on the piano.
I love it. Tina, tell us a little bit about Cody.
Cody is blind and autistic.
Wow.
We found out that he loved music really early on. He listened and his eyes just went huge. And he started singing. And that's when I was in tears, because that's when I realized, oh my gosh, he's an entertainer. So through music and performing, he was able to withstand living in this world, because when you're autistic, it's really hard to do what everybody else does. It actually has saved his life playing music.
Wow.
Oh, that's awesome.
Well, we'd love to hear you. Go for it.
You ready?
I'm ready.
Go on, Cody. Go on.
This is your time, okay? There's gonna be like 20 film cameras on you. Ready?
Yeah.
Go. Boom.
I've been to so many places in my life and time. I've sung a lot of songs, and I made some bad rhymes. I've acted out my life in stages, 10,000 people watching, yeah. We're alone now, and I'm singing this song to you. I love you in a place, oh, there's no space or time. I love you from my life. You're a friend of mine. But when my life is over, remember we're together. We're alone now, and I'm singing a song to you. And I'm singing a song to you.
There goes my heart beating, 'cause you are the reason I'm losing my sleep.
Yes!
Please come back. There goes my mind erasing.
It really was an incredible inspiration. Each of us hope that you take the time, you remind yourself, consider identifying and utilizing your true gifts. Now I'm turning it back to Claudia.
Okay, thanks, Rich. First things first, let's do our first objective. How to determine where to start. Now, determining where you want to start in your career search is never easy. So let's take a look at what circumstances will drive your career decisions. What work constraints would you want to put in your search? Is there a need for work, or are you just looking for something else that might be more fulfilling? Are you considering full time or part time? In determining where to start, what are some of your performance attributes that you bring to this effort? For example, can you set and achieve goals? Can you influence and make things happen? Can you work in a team and play well with others? Well, these three things, setting and achieving goals, influencing others, and teamwork, they're just some of the potential motivators that you might consider. There's no right or wrong answer, just the answer that best fits you and your personality. You do need to make these types of determinations up front, however, because they're going to guide you to get to where you want to go. These self-determination items will also tell you what types of career paths to pursue. Now, many people automatically revert to being employed by someone else, but your talent gives you options. In addition to working as someone's employee, consulting and business ownership are still strong career choices for you. We learned in the survey that we administered to Rotarians in November that many of you wish to pursue a business career. That's great. Just remember that where you find career fulfillment is very likely to dictate how you start your career search. Now, whatever career transition you may be making, remember what Christopher Robin said to Winnie the Pooh? Very important. Promise me you'll always remember, he said, you're braver than you believe, and stronger than you seem, and smarter than you think. And you are. Martin Luther King said the ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in moments of comfort and convenience, but where he stands at times of challenge and controversy. With the information that you get from this session, we hope you'll be more comfortable about where to start your job search. Dr. Robert Schuller says tough times never last, but tough people do. Now, Rich, talk to us about some career passions and how to find our why.
Absolutely. Thank you, Claudia. Now that we provided some guidance around where to start your career search, we're going to talk about career passions and finding your why. I would ask each of you, pull out a full sheet of paper, something to write on. Many of you have defined your career path. However, others may not be 100% certain on which career to pursue. That's perfectly okay. So the slide you see on the screen is a very, very simple exercise. We're going to ask you to jot down the components, understand it, and save it for later. We're not going to do it on this call. But in the upper left-hand corner, write down the word passions, plural. Upper right-hand corner, write down the word talents. Towards the bottom center of the paper, write down the word important. And right smack dab in the middle, write down the word roles. Now, on your own time, and maybe this is a year or 2 or 3 years from now, maybe you're going to show somebody else this brief exercise. Identifying your passions and write them down. What do you absolutely love doing? What's almost a crime to pay you for because it drives so much career fulfillment? You love it, you love it, you love it. Your talents. Write down what people have repeatedly told you that you do very, very well. Not what you think you do well, what other people tell you you've done well repeatedly. They have a very, very, very clear lens. It's much clearer than yours. At the bottom of the page, record what's important to you. Is it autonomy? Is it structure? Is it growth? Is it security? What is it? What's important to you? So now you have 3 lists. Your goal, identify career roles, career paths that intersect with your passions, your talents, and what's important to you. Now, best case scenario, you came up with one or two options. One's good, two's incredible. However, I encourage people, take this information to 2 or 3 trusted individuals, people that are objective, big thinkers, people that will never, ever, ever tell you what you want to hear. Only people who will tell you what you need to hear. Get their feedback, get their thoughts. The if you were me presentation. Here are my passions, here's my talents, here's important. Here's what I believe I should be pursuing. What do you think? They may not give you anything in the first 5 minutes, but they may come back with some nuggets, some career paths you may never have thought about. And those 2 or 3 people that I just talked about, objective, big thinkers, will only tell you what you need to hear. Maybe it's the time, maybe now's the time to establish what I call is your personal board of directors. And that's the description. People you can take information to them, you can use them as a sounding board, and they will give you critical feedback. Again, your personal board of directors. And keep those 2 or 3 people with you for your career search, okay? And utilize their talents. I want to reemphasize, please continue, seek the insights of others. I'm not saying we have a bad lens inside of us, but the lenses outside of us are much clearer. In creating a vision of your ideal life, ask yourself, what are your true gifts? What is your purpose? What is your true calling? Rely on methods that are comfortable to you, but please remember, there are Rotarians out there who are available and willing to assist you. Consider current work trends. What are they? This gig economy that we continue to talk about, freelance work, what is happening around us? Consider identifying short-term, long-term milestones. Please remain practical. I'd love to be a surgeon next year myself, but probably not likely. What have you always wanted to do? Again, take the time needed to identify fulfilling career paths for yourself. Make sure you're able to articulate your chosen career path to others with a strong sense of confidence. You are at least 80% likely to be led to the next leg of your career journey with the help of someone else. To help get the full attention of others, show them what you want to do with confidence. Making a career change at mid to late career has created career fulfillment for many. Let me tell you about a person named Marissa Mayer. Marissa Mayer was the first female engineer at Google. She was the first female CEO in big tech. Many of you remember her as the CEO of Yahoo. And recently, Marissa pursued an entrepreneurial startup called Sunshine. Sunshine's first product is called Sunshine Contacts. It's an app that aims to help organize and improve one's iPhone contact list. Sunshine has raised over $20 million in venture capital. And in Marissa's words, she explains, there's an immense opportunity to make the mundane magical. We applaud Marissa Mayer for her outside the box thinking. It's amazing. You may not come up with something as grand as Marissa did, but you never know. Give yourself that chance to make a huge difference in your life and also the lives of others. Back to Claudia.
Thanks. That was amazing. Objective number 3, how to get where you want to go or be what you want to be. Focus on what's vitally important to you, your passion, the passion that Rich was talking about. Search for a career that'll give you the fulfillment that you want, one that you will love. Some have said that a career without fulfillment is a career failure, and that's not where you're headed. Fulfillment is probably the main thing that will lead you to a successful long-term career and not just a short-term job. The fulfilling career should be your life's mission. A dull and boring job is just a paycheck. Reinvent yourself and start that today. Think seriously about your passion and your why. Many times that passion is not what you're doing right now. Allow yourself to dream a new dream, but always let fulfillment be your guide. Career continuation, staying in the same role, is perfectly fine as long as it brings you fulfillment. But career change for many is inevitable for many reasons. Maybe relocation, a change in the job market, your skills are no longer in high demand. But temporary assignments do remain popular and they're beneficial for both you and the employer. Project or contract work is part of our new gig economy that Rich was mentioning. It's estimated that in 2027, there will be more than 50% of the workforce that will be gig workers. Self-employment is still a viable and fulfilling option. At some point, you may decide you want to bet on yourself and take that step. Consulting remains a terrific career option. Based on your consulting search, base it on your talents and on your passions. Some consulting positions include maybe real estate sales or becoming a financial planning professional. Also, think about volunteer work, community work. They will all lead to connections and they'll give you the ability to try some new roles you may not have thought about. In order for everything to work together to assist your efforts to get to where you want to go, here are some of the things that our future series sessions will include. During the February session, we'll focus on personal branding. We'll focus on networking. The coaching portion of Rotary Works will be rolled out to provide insight into marketing yourself. You'll want to register for those as well. Rich, it's time for you to tell us a story.
Thank you, and I appreciate Claudia's explanations and tips. She was spot on. Let me tell you about a story about a man who figured out where he wanted to go and how he went about it. I was fortunate to meet this man in 1999 on my second day on the job when I went to work for his company. In 1978, this man was fired from a job. He was president of a hardware store chain. He said to himself at that time in 78, jobs at my level don't exactly grow on trees, but I have an idea. To me, his idea was more of a vision. His idea was that he wondered if our country was ready for big box, warehouse style hardware stores. He proceeded to have three others help him pursue his idea. Arthur Blank and Ron Brill were former colleagues of this man, plus a man named Ken Langone, whose strength was finding money. The man I'm referring to and the three other men took the next year to see if his idea was feasible. In 1979, in Atlanta, Georgia, Bernie Marcus opened the world's first big box, warehouse-style home improvement store. He named it the Home Depot and put orange aprons on all the employees, forever changing the way Americans shop for home improvement products and services. Bernie pursued a vision and had a plan he was working from. He also reached a high level of career fulfillment, impacting the life of him and his family, plus millions of employees over the years. Again, Bernie Marcus and Marissa Mayer took off the blinders and kept them off. Give yourself a chance to find a career with high level of fulfillment. Remember, each of you have multiple career options, as Claudia explained, and that could be in employment, consulting, including real estate sales, pension planning, plus becoming your own boss by owning your own business. Again, as a reminder, please keep those blinders off. By the way, if you notice I'm wearing an orange shirt, that's one of the great impacts Bernie and the Home Depot made on me. And now the color orange is part of my personal branding. I typically wear an orange shirt several days each week. We're going to dive deep into personal branding in our February session. You won't want to miss it. Marketing yourself may not come naturally. However, this is critical, with marketing being the common differentiator in determining who is selected for the opportunity. Let's talk about marketing oneself for just a few minutes. For those of you currently in career transition who do not have a marketing plan, we're going to help you create one. Our session on January 27th will be focused on creating a plan with a big part on how to market yourself. Your resume is your resume. Your marketing plan is more important than your resume. Okay, I'll say it again. Your marketing plan is more important than your resume. Your resume shows the past. Your marketing plan shows the future. People leading you to the next stop in your career journey are more interested in learning about what you want to do versus what you've done in the past. Again, our session, January 27th, will help you focus on creating a plan with a big part on how to market yourself. And as a reminder, the February session, we're going to focus on personal branding, networking, and leveraging LinkedIn. It's an important session. Look, the fear of the unknown can feel daunting, no question. That's why utilizing a plan to help you hold yourself accountable is important. Bringing you back to Claudia.
Thanks, Rick. So let's restate the 3 objectives that we started out with. How to determine where to start. Identify your passions and find your why. How to get where you want to go. Now, we've given you some information on how to get started, how to find your passion and why, and some ideas about how to get there. We hope they've been helpful. Dale Carnegie says, most of the important things in the world have been accomplished by people who kept on trying when there seemed to be no hope at all. Now, many of you may know and appreciate Dale Carnegie. He was an American writer and lecturer. He developed the famous courses in self-improvement, salesmanship, corporate training, public speaking, interpersonal skills. He was born in poverty on a farm in Missouri. He is the author of How to Win Friends and Influence People. That book was published in 1936. It was a massive bestseller, but it remains popular today. He also says success is getting what you want. Happiness is wanting what you get. I'm going to paraphrase Mr. Carnegie for this session. So I will ask you, how will you benefit from this session? What new opportunities and approaches will you take? What are the factors that are stopping you from achieving your goal? What will be the solution you develop to make sure you achieve your goals? What's your current situation? And lastly, how will you evaluate and become committed to follow up with your dreams? The past cannot be changed. So Dr. David Jeremiah says, if you get excited about the future, the past doesn't matter. So let's start our future right now. You see on the slides, Rich and my information. Please let us know if there's anything that we can do to help. Marcy, are there any questions in the chat box?
So the first question is, would the marketing plan be the new resume?
I'll take that, and the answer is no. The resume is always going to be a requirement. Resume is what you're going to do when you sit down with a prospective employer to interview for the job. The resume is going to help you get interviews and hopefully get you the job. But the marketing summary is your plan, how you're going about it. And I think most of us know by now, you're more than 80% likely to be led to your next career role by somebody you know slightly to somebody you know intimately. And the marketing plan helps introduce you to more people who will hopefully lead you to the next leg in your career path. It's designed to open up doors. The resume is a staple. Gotta have it, gotta have it. It's not what the employers see. Marketing plan is for you. The marketing plan is for everybody helping you be able to help you.
Thanks, Rich. The next question is for those of on our audience who like to read. Are there any books that you would strongly suggest?
Go ahead, Claudia.
I like the Andy Andrews books. I'm directed toward making my life better by looking at people who do the same thing. I'm very interested in biographies, and I'm particularly interested in biographies of the earlier group of people, the Abraham Lincolns and the Thomas Jeffersons, and some of the people who have made it really, really big in our society today.
You know, I would tell you, I'm a big fan of Tony Robbins, and Tony has had a huge impact on my life. And he will remind us to really focus on our true gifts, focus on our passions, focus on your passions, pursue a career that's fulfilling, and that will lead to success. Not success before fulfillment. You find fulfillment, and you can plan to see success. I would recommend anything Tony Robbins.
I would too.
How important is having a LinkedIn profile?
Rich?
About 110%. Got to have LinkedIn. So one of the criteria for career search for anyone seeking employment, there is an expectation. They have a social media presence. Employers, when they're considering a candidate, they're almost automatically going to LinkedIn to check the person out. First, there's an expectation. If they're career-minded, if they're taking their career seriously, they will have a LinkedIn personal page. They also want to see that it's consistent with the background they're portraying. Our session on February 10th, we're going to do a deep dive on LinkedIn. You'll enjoy it. It'll be incredibly powerful. The answer to the question is, gotta have it.
Thanks, Rich. So our next question is about being a consultant. Is there any formula to use for value of money on your knowledge as a consultant?
We plan on talking more of that on our next session on January 27th. That's a preview. But it's been my experience, something that you're incredibly passionate about, something that you're an expert in, and something that can be marketed either on yourself or with the help of a firm.
For those of you who are interested in the next sessions, they will be available. The links will be available on the Rotary.works website, so you can go there for not only those links but also for resources. Dr. Virginia says, this is such rich information. How can I bring these trainings closer to the Rotarians in Suriname?
Well, we're recording. We're recording this session. This will be made available, and all the other future sessions will be made available. And as a reminder, I don't think anybody should go at their career search alone. Sure, there's friends, personal board of directors, but also as a reminder, this Rotary Works program has created a coaching component, and we've already received requests for coaches. I had an hour-long conversation with a person just this past Saturday. So utilize the coaching component of Rotary Works is something else I would recommend.
There's also a funding component, which will be very helpful as well. The series is very well planned and very well thought out. You will benefit from it, I believe.
So thank you for those folks who have been suggesting and recommending books. Please see the chat for that, but to go ahead with questions. Recently, I was informed that resumes have been cut down as it pertains to length, as companies are looking for keywords in skill set. Have you heard that to be true?
I have many companies, recognize that the high quantity of resumes a company gets for a single job posting could be 700, could be 1,500, it might be 2,000 resumes for a single job posting today, based on the quantity of unemployed people. Some recruiters have software where they're looking for keywords in the resume, and the quantity of keywords can bring your resume to the top. For example, if the recruiter types in the word collaboration and you have the word collaboration in there 9 times in your resume, somebody else has the word collaboration in there 3 times, that could make the difference, your resume coming up quicker in search. So it is a tactic that we in career transition urge people to consider. The same thing for your LinkedIn profile. Recruiters are searching for people, for talent, based on their LinkedIn profile. And they're punching in keywords. It could say compensation analyst and certain keywords in it. And if it has they said we want somebody with big experience on metrics and on hourly workforce compensation, and they put those keywords, and those LinkedIn profiles will rise to the top with based on the quantity of those keywords. So the keyword thing in your resume, in your LinkedIn profile, can help lift you in search.
Thanks. So there were some folks on the call who wanted to know, who are interested in coaching. I've put Steve Agis's contact information in there. Please feel free to reach out to Steve. Can the recording be shared with non-Rotarians? I think that's a Stephanie question.
Yes, it can be shared with anybody. Our career seminars are open to any interested person who is in a career transition.
Thank you. Next question. Can you suggest some dialogue for networking with people we know, including former colleagues?
And you should mention that. And again, I'm going to fast forward to the February 10th session. But yes, networking is the key for those in job search, seeking employment. Again, there's been a ton of analysis that have dictated that 80% of jobs are filled by someone by referral or being led to a job by somebody that they know slightly to some intimately. The world's leading career transition company did a survey about 3 years ago and says, no, 80%'s not accurate. It's 90%. There's nothing wrong with what you've done, and we never downgrade past experience. We never downgrade past accomplishments. But in career search and employment search, there almost seems to be a phobia in corporations in hiring someone who's not connected to the organization. Hiring managers, corporations want to understand the candidate's connectedness to the hiring manager, to the department, the location of the company, some level of connectedness. Okay? The higher level of connectedness, the increased chance you'll get to get the job. So networking, again, deep dive on February 10th. But networking, helping people understand your passions, what you want to do, and at the same time, you're weaving in your career grand slams. At the end of every conversation for anybody in job search, you want that person to be saying, wow, this person's a real find. They're going to solve a company's problems. They're going to help the company make more money, and I hope it's my company. So it really is about face-to-face or telephone or Zoom, impressing people.
And we'll be talking, Rich, a little bit about how to pool the source of Rotarians that we have to help people do that. That will be in another session as well.
Absolutely.
There was a question here. Sorry. What do you recommend for job seekers with regard to networking right now?
First thing I always advocate in most cities, hopefully every city, there are volunteer career transition organizations. I live in the Richmond, Virginia area. We have one called Career Prospectors. It's been around since 2004, and it has a sister group called JAM, or Jobs Assistance Ministries, and they've been around since 2009, and they have weekly meetings. And they provide tools, the same tools that the 3 leading career transition companies provide. We steal shamelessly, okay? So career transition, voluntary, churches, many of the churches, some churches will have those type of programs. Use the internet, find them, word of mouth, volunteer career transition networking organizations. Your resume is a check off, marketing plan. Look forward to March 27th, and be active on LinkedIn. But again, we're going to do a deep dive. Last but not least is your fellow Rotary Club members or your Rotaract Club members. Okay, they're eager to help you. Remember, like Claudia said, fun, food, and fellowship. Don't hesitate to get with your fellow Rotarians, to ask their assistance, ask their advice.
Thank you, Rich and Claudia. We've covered most of the questions, so I'm going to turn it back over to Director Stephanie.
Thank you, Marcy, and thank you, Claudia and Rich. What a fabulous presentation. I hope that all of you who have joined us today are able to take away at least one nugget, one piece of information that can help you in your current job situation. So if you would like to chat further with Rich or Claudia, we're going to show you their contact information once again. It'll be up on the screen here, and I know it's been in the chat box. I also want to thank our behind the scenes tech support who make the magic of these seminars happen. James Markley from District 6950 and Terry Weaver from District 7750. And if you'd like to get involved in our initiative, please feel free to reach out to me or any member of the Rotary Works team who are identified on the website. Finally, please mark your calendar for our upcoming events. You can find more information about the sessions, and you can register by visiting the website rotary.works. Thank you again for joining us today, and we look forward to seeing you at all or one of our next Rotary Works seminars. Remember, Rotary Works.